Well, it is pretty easy. If you do get something like a Genji, it is really easy to rotate, almost like Braxis, where, it's a jump and a dash and you're in the other lane. So we got Oh My Science banning. Last week they were banning, not Medivh, but given the respect. And I like that. Oh My Science being, I don't know if they're 100% favored here, but being a strong team and still saying we're going to respect that. We know it could be a key to our downfall.
The other key here is, too, they're also first pick. So they put the pressure on Evel Medivhel to ban the Hanzo. Because basically you're now giving Oh My Science you get first pick. And
this is exactly what happened last game, and they didn't change their tune, and they're going to just let the Hanzo go through. But I think it's a different story. I think he's strong on Sky Temple. I think he's a behemoth on Battlefield, but maybe something prepared. We got dives, boys.
I love Tyrael on this map because you can essentially say, hey, we're taking the boss right now. We have sanctification. We're going to rip through it, or we're going to take this objective. We're going to rip through it. Later on, post 13, when he has Holy Ground, any point he catches someone in one of the very numerous chokes around this map, that Tyrael Greymane is going to get so much of an advantage. And I love it because it's like two dive heroes. You know that Evel Medivhel is like, hey, you ban Medivh, guess what? We're still coming at you.
I think it's 100% calculated on the side of Evel Medivhel. You know when you ban Genji. Like, these players are way better than me, and they know when they ban Genji that Hanzo's coming out. So this feels tailored to respond to the Hanzo. They think they have a solution to the Hanzo. They definitely did last game. But like I said, and they played great last game, but Oh My Science is a whole nother beast. Let's see. I mean, if they end up on top here, I'll be extremely convinced that they've come up with a way to deal with it.
I like the Jaina ban. It brings a lot of burst and follow-up to the Hanzo or ETC Initiate, as well as the fact that Lucio makes up for a lot of Jaina's misgivings, which is her mobility. Really great that they took ETC and Lucio right now, because 100% one of those two is either going to get banned or picked from them, and those you can build anything around those two picks.
Exactly. Right? They have everything you need.
Yep, and we're going to see a Li Ming ban. Really smart, because Tyrael with his shielding and the resets, if they get a kill, it never ends. It just never ends. You can't stop that once they get a kill. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see what they're going to pick. Definitely don't need their support right now because there's no more bans. I do predict a Malfurion, the roots for cutting off chokes as well as creating picks. Diablo could be really good here. Apocalypse, Sonya. So many places to stun people against walls.
Sonya perhaps for solo lane, or
be kind of melee heavy. Could initiate a Kael'thas pick, who I think still has his place in the meta with two mages being banned.
And very strong with ETC, stack those circles and like we talked about earlier, early picks. He's great for the slide and then follow up with the stun. I mean, you can erase somebody. I'm interested to see what we'll see here. Blaze, Sweden, that Muradin, and yeah,
I think that's pretty standard. Is Mecha Rhaegar banned? I don't remember.
I hope not.
Argy. Maybe he just doesn't
unban Mecha Rhaegar immediately and give it to this gentleman.
We don't even have Mecha Tyrael either, so I'm pretty confident Tyrael's Mecha banned though, because his animations are pretty crazy.
Straight trolling.
Yeah, only Mecha Tyrael's banned. Okay.
But Mecha only Tyrael is banned, really?
No, in open, but not in HeroesHype. So apparently,
this is the Wild West, folks.
This is the Wild West. HeroesHype gets here.
And so what are we going to see in response? They can pick anything here, but the Muradin Rhaegar is extremely strong, but not extremely.
Chromie, maybe?
Doesn't lean. What did you say? Sorry,
Chromie. maybe.
Oh, I
There's
would
not a
love
lot of
that.
hope coming out of
Chromie Hanzo is savage.
yeah, because that's a lot of long range. They have the ETC and the Lucio for keeping them safe. Tychus and Malthael.
Wow.
Hmm. Really strong solo laner. Not a lot of options left that'll fit with that 4-man right now on Evel Medivhel, but I mean they could prove me wrong. Tychus the tank killer against Heavy Duty Muradin and Mr. Tyrael. I think that's a great pick.
Plus all the shields he does. He does percentage damage will chunk shields on anyone else. And so you're thinking Tyrael solo lane here?
Probably a Tyrael solo lane with Malthael matching him. They could even put Tychus up on that lane and keep Malthael with the bot lane. But I think we'll see Tychus in the roaming squad or the 4-man squad or 3 depending on what they go. Right now it looks more like a 4-1.
I think all my science
Haka would be too much melee.
Too much melee. Then you're gonna have 2 tanks in your 4-man.
I doubt we'll see it. I mean, they have a spot for Zagara, but Zeratul, wow.
I was hoping for Zagara. Actually, I think she's really good on this map. You don't see her a lot, but Zeratul, that changes things a little bit. He's gonna be good to poke on that Hanzo and Tychus. Tychus has a lot of HP, but not a lot of tools to deal with Zeratul once he gets in on him.
No, not a lot of tools at all. He's also very good for dodging around the boops and the stuns at ETC.
Mm-hmm.
If at any point we see Malthael go in and avoid prison come out on his back line, it's just going to be a 4v. It's going to be a 5v1, and then at that point it's a 5v4. Definitely going to look for Zeratul to make the plays here, and of course it's player number 5 Domo variant on him for Evel Medivhel. But oh my science, I like their composition. I love it. They have really good damage for the Immortals. Thank you for the game and its in-game tips for giving me the name of what they're called finally. But the team fight out of Evel Medivhel, it's just it's so insane because you have a Void Prison, you have a Sanctified, you have all the bursts you need. This is going to be a fun game to watch.
A ton of pressure. Like Tyrael he doesn't do too much damage, but his presence is just crazy. And one thing that we didn't really talk about either, too, is the level 7 synergy with Tyrael and Greymane, where Tyrael gets the Smite increased attack speed talent.
Ooh,
that is actually nuts. It's nuts for Tyrael himself, and it's nuts. It's like really crazy for a Greymane.
All right, I'm going to introduce Oh My Science, fully charged today with Battery, Dark Chimera playing Lucio, Seiryu on Malthael, Battery on Hanzo, Troy 1010 on Tychus, and Hacho on ETC.
And on the right side, we have Evel Medivhel. We've got Aqualad playing Rhaegar, Domo variant on Zeratul, Bobby Frank on Muradin, TXZ playing Greymane, and in the bottom lane, Zalori on Tyrael with some nice Mount Skinergy there.
Yep. Oh My Science looking for an early fight. They're watching for the 4-man. Malthael's kind of out here. He looks like the stun's good, but unfortunately he's too close to towers and they're not going to rush him. But it is going to be a 4-1 with the 4 being up top. Lucio against Tyrael, I think that's just because of where he was at first. They're trying to swap down Malthael right now.
Yeah, Malthael's on his way down, and Zeratul's sharking around mid, gonna try to catch Lucio in his rotation. See if Dark Chimera is keen to it. He tried to boop, looking for Zeratul, expecting something, but Domo with the knowledge of where he would be looking for him.
Shout out to Bobby Frank, 2 stacks in, doing awesome. He's in those stuns. That's gonna be a big factor later on in the game. I'm really surprised Zeratul didn't open up on Lucio. He's going to get booped, take a little bit of damage. Returning it.
Ooh, TXZ taking a good chunk of damage from the scatter shot and from the Q from Tychus. That's going to force him to tap very early.
Yeah, it's important to remember Evel Medivhel being pretty melee heavy, whereas it's Tychus and Hanzo, not the best clear, but definitely superior to the Greymane with the Muradin and the Rhaegar. Definitely going to put some towers on those towers. Meanwhile, Malthael pretty much going to go untouchable down here against Tyrael.
Troy getting attacked heavily by Greymane. Gonna go down to about 10% HP, but he's gonna escape, and Hanzo's gonna manage to get a lot of damage off.
Real quick shout out for those of you that never played Diablo. Tyrael can never beat Malthael. That's why he likes to hire out people to do it for him. So that's why he loses that bot lane. It's all lore based. It's nothing about how the game is made.
Oh, and Zeratul getting caught up, but Domavarian with a good blink, taking a lot of damage. He'll probably be going back, possibly just tapping. Yeah, he's going to be going all the way back, making sure he gets nice and healthy before the Immortals are spawning here. So I think Evel Medivhel's just going to play it safe, make sure they get their soak. There's a bit of a rotation. Tychus going down to the Bruiser camp. Going to start that in with perfect timing.
It's important to remember the changes to stealth. Zeratul playing pretty aggressively. He is fully visible. He's just not clickable when he's moving around. So it's a little surprising to see him go so aggressive. Checking out that camp, he's going to see they're doing it. They're going to top for the hard camp, so it's going to be a pretty equal push.
Yeah, it's going to be even heading in. Again, Zeratul sharking around the mid, looking for Hanzo. He gets caught out with the boot, blinks, and takes about 30% HP before he gets behind Bobby Frank and his team. A nice Stormbolt coming out on Lucio, but there's not going to be any follow-up there. Evel Medivhel's Immortal taking a bit of damage. This is where Hanzo and Tychus are going to excel. A little bit of the overcharge through the wall there.
Yeah, nothing really Evel Medivhel can do right now to avoid this poke. They really just want to create a pick. Unfortunately, nothing's really happening. Hacho kind of alone right now, but they're not going to move towards him. They're worried about Hanzo and Tychus getting some free damage. Bobby Frank, dude, weaving those Stormbolts. It's getting melted by the Tychus right now, though.
Yeah, but he just has to back up and take a little bit of damage. Zeratul caught again. Domo with the blink ready, but he is still in a bit of danger. Getting a heal from Rhaegar. Tyrael is engaged pretty deep in the line, and Murden and Tyrael and Greymane taking a lot of damage now. Malthael all the way in. Lucio helping secure the kill. And now Oh My Science is just, wow, they're going to keep on it, doing a lot of damage to Tyrael. I thought they were just going to back up, take their damage on the Immortals. They knew they had a little more halftime show. They're just going to position with Hacho up front, zoning out, and they're going to have a very healthy Immortal.
Shout out to Dark Chimera. Boop, there it is. This guy is peeling like crazy for his team. Hacho going to make it out of here with that speed boop. Oh, another boop. He is doing work.
That's a 4-man boop there. Suryu getting initiated on. Tyrael trying to dish out a lot of damage, but Tyrael very low on mana and health. He's going to have to back all the way up. He's going to clear a bit and maybe tap. Evel Medivhel rotating through the mid, trying to make sure the wave is pushed back a little bit so this Immortal can take a little bit of damage. And this is where their heavy melee comp's going to be punishing. Bobby Frank out a bit forward. Got to watch that boss stun. He's going to just take his trait healing a little bit back here. But again, being melee heavy, this is very difficult to defend when you have a shielded Immortal doing the ranged attacks. You can't go in here. Look, Greymane, Rhaegar, Murden, Zeratul. What do? Zeratul has to get on that back line.
Yep.
But he can't. There's an ETC just
unfortunately,
ready
it's
to
an
peel.
ETC. Yeah. It's much easier to hit an ETC slide than it is to hit like a Stormbolt.
Especially a backwards one, to assist your team. Murden getting caught out by the power slide. Dwarf toss out. He's low on mana. They're going to retreat. The fort will fall, but a fairly effective defense considering full health and shield Immortal. TXC just trying to dish out a little bit more. So full fort dead, a level and a smidgen behind. They're going to try to be rotating. I believe they see, yes, the pings are going out. They see the Zeratul down here. But Domo is keen to all this going on. But does Zeratul in his current incarnation create enough pressure on this death ball coming out of
really awesome coming out of everyone on Evel Medivhel. Everyone has something that benefited from the attack speed boost at a level 7 talent for Tyrael. If at any point we see a smite and someone is out of position, just their right clicks are going to melt somebody. Give them the axe, Saladin strength out of Zeratul, Greymane in general. Even Rhaegar will hit you hard.
Yeah, Greymane is terrifying with it, but Oh My Science is going to force the issue. They know they're close to 10. This fort should give them enough experience to go to 10, trying to force them to have Imperial diving in, putting out the shield, and Oh My Science is going to slowly back away. Another massive benefit to Lucio. Just get out of one fight free card at every 12 seconds.
And he's doing work. He keeps bouncing to that back line to up above, making sure Domo can never flank them.
Yep. I mean, really good awareness, just synergy in the main group between these players. You really see the difference between well-practiced and well-coordinated and players that just synergize well together. These guys really flow.
Yep. Seiryu up top, getting that push out, making sure they get as much soak as possible. They beat him by a full level to level 10. Dragon's Arrow coming out of Hanzo, Commander Odin. Malthael holding on to his ults. We're seeing a mosh pit and sound barrier. Do you think we'll see the Reaper? Do you think he's going to do it?
I'm unsure. I thought about it a little bit in the pregame, but I don't think we're going to be seeing it. It's just, it would be really strong to get Tormented Souls because
I think it could
so
force
many melee.
either a Sanctification or an Ancestral
We
in a
did-
weird
it's up.
spot. Nope,
Last rites.
there he shows it. Last rights. He took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went for it.
He did it.
If at any point what they've been doing has been getting Ceratul down to like 30% HP and him getting away, if at any point that happens and Last Rites is available, that's a dead Ceratul.
Yeah, and they also have he didn't take the healing reduction, but a big crash like coming in on Bobby Frank and there.
Bye.
And I mean, what I was gonna say is they did not take the healing reduction on Malthael at level 7, and that would be really effective against the Ancestral. Excellent cleanse coming out of Aqualad there, saving TXC, but Zaluri a little too zealous with the Sanctification. I think that could cost them dearly in this next team fight. Muradin coming back in. They're trying to get something set up. Tychus has popped the Odin, getting a lot of siege damage, lots of value here. Just such long range. How do you deal? It's almost like the Chromie Hanzo. They have to commit so hard, and they're so far down. This Immortal still has 25% shield. Domavarian poking in. Zalurian taking a lot of damage. Getting hit by the boss on Tyrael is going to fall. Seeing if you can get any explosion value, but an insanely good sound barrier just saying, no, not today. And the Immortal is on the tower. Hacho power sliding in. TXC taking a bit of damage. Not as much follow-up as he'd like. Domavarian trying to get on the flank. TXC diving in. Ancestral barely misses. Ancestral and Last Rites at the exact same time. That's an interesting interaction. Malthael falling as well. Domavarian falling. Core falling. 63% life. The Immortal is fairly low. This is interesting. Hacho taking a lot of damage. Everyone about 30-40%, and they're going to retreat, but 48% damage on the core. Keep exposed. That
is permanent damage. No mule in game. Really love their decision to stay that long, knowing they have the Lucio with the boops and the speed get away. Because one of the key reasons you struggle to get away when you don't have a Lucio is because you can't mount up and you're getting slowed, you're getting hit, and you're on your retreat. But Lucio covers that. You get 40% move speed, and he takes you home.
Hey, like you said, he's living proof that supports can do things other than massive heals and be a support. You see it in the other MOBAs because the healing is less prevalent, but Lucio is so powerful and so unique with his AoE move speed. Other than ETC, who can get the move speed on his Rockstar. So,
and that's why I feel like the supports with a lot more utility tend to stand out. That's why we're not seeing as much Ariel or Ana or the Monk. Sorry, I was trying to think of his name. They all do their own things and they're useful in their own ways, but that's where Lucio stands out, is he has so much healing on top of his utility. Bush gank In
You ever just
process,
feel like somebody's watching you? Like you walk out your front door and you think everything's fine, and then the wrath of hell comes down on your whole team because it's about to happen. Last rites. Oh, and the ancestral hit just in time. Sanctification again, a little bit trigger happy. Domo variant on the back line. Hacho with a big mosh pit, gonna take out Zeratul and Tyrael. Tyrael trying to get that explosion value. Hacho just doesn't care. Bobby Frank going to have to back up, and my Science just going to take control of the Immortal phase. I mean, that was really well played by my Science. Nothing crazy next level, just a good, solid call, right?
well executed. They know they have the percentage damage from Tychus and Malthael, along with Last Rites. Not to mention that Scatter is very easy to hit when he has a very predictable path to hit you on. That bird, and I'm actually really surprised he didn't die. Maybe like one or two more autos, and even in death would have finished him off.
This is going to be an insanely difficult hold here. So they are looking to force the fight right now. Rhaegar, Bobby Frank going in, trying to put a lot of damage on Nasiryu. They're actually pretty effective. He's healing with his Q. Bobby Frank taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to back up a bit and try to get his trait to trigger. But Lucio on the pursuit, just always right in the middle of the team. Huge ult by Hanzo, stunning 3 members. Last rites on the Muradin. Domovarian going down, full health and shield. Immortal going in, and Oh My Science just, puts their thumb on the cut and says,
Those ults came out right on cooldown. I understand Evel Medivhel saying, you know what, they don't have their ults right now, guys. Let's get them. Unfortunately, the 2-level disadvantage, they weren't low on mana. It just didn't happen. Unfortunately, sometimes it's really hard to recover.
I think they had to force the fight because they knew they couldn't fight on their core with that amount of health on the Immortal, right? It was sort of a desperation play, but I thought Evel Medivhel played strongly. I thought they showed signs of life there. I feel like similarly to what I saw in some of the HGC games this weekend, which is, I don't know if Zeratul works unless you plan a sort of wombo around the Void Prison. I get the Seeker in the Dark. Is that the name of his new ult? Seeker in the Dark?
Might of the Nazareth.
Might of the Nathrazim. I understand its strength, but I don't think it works on these coordinated players. I think it works in Hero League. Like, yeah, okay, outplay and poke people all day and you're super annoying, but that doesn't work on Hacho, and that doesn't work on, the Lucio player here from On My Science.
Looking at their builds, you can tell their whole plan was Zerg. And unfortunately, it's really hard to Zerg when you're behind. Looking back at their stats, Greymane outputting 40,000 damage. He did as much damage as almost his entire team combined. That's TXZ on that Greymane. Domo, unfortunately, I just felt like Oh My Science had his number. Dark Chimera hit him while he was in like the complete stealth, the new when he stands still stealth. I want to say like a half a dozen times. Dark Chimera was reading him like a book. There just never was a point where they could execute their Tyrael jump in to take the blunt and Zeratul and Greymane just dive the backline strategy to Zerg them. It just never happened. And unfortunately, Oh My Science played to the strengths of their composition really well and understood, hey, we're a bunch of ranged heroes with decent blade clear. We'll slow play it early and take some buildings, get the level advantage, and then once we do, they just never lost it.
Yeah, I think Tyrael. I think Zeratul, in his current incarnation, or at least if you're using Might of the Nathrazim, punishes mispositioning. Not poor play, but mispositioning, being one step off with your team. But that is just... Oh My Science is not liable to make a lot of mistakes. And so it's not going to be as easy to execute against them. You're not going to find them with Lucio just mostly contained inside a wall of heroes that whole game. Every time I look, he's in the middle. He's boosting everyone up. He's enabling while avoiding all the damage. kind of terrifying. And like you said earlier, why do you need to heal if you're just not getting hit by anything?
Yep. And I think that's one of the reasons that Lucio has the statistical numbers and the advantage that he has right now. It's his utility and like his raw strength of his mobility and team-wide mobility with these teams where how fast you move against an enemy team or how fast you retreat, how fast you position matters so much more than in like your normal Hero League games. This is like why Lucio is just so good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Real shout out to Dark Chimera. Definitely played his heart out that game. Easy MVP in my heart.
Yeah, I thought he played phenomenally. Like just when he was rotating up from bottom lane at the very beginning and just Zeratul was sharking around mid and waiting in the bush, he runs into the bush and just throws his boop. He missed him, but he knew that Zeratul was waiting.
Yep. And like from that moment on, I was like, Dark Chimera is going to hit him. It's just going to happen. Like they can read that Zeratul so well. Next game up, it's going to be Oh My Science again versus those guys. Looks like those guys has banned Cursed. Waiting on the ban out of Oh My Science. Volskaya again.
I think they were banning Volskaya last week as well. They just don't want it. Those guys taking them to BOE. And I mean, this happened so quickly. Those guys, another team I believe I've seen win a weekly, one of the weeks I cast, and those guys have insane coordination. And those guys actually have some crazy comps. I believe it was those guys that I saw play a Kerrigan Tracer.
I'm dying. Those guys, that team name is just so funny.
It's great. They're really good.
That's like when you're playing Pokemon and you name yourself like that guy, and it's just like, or my dude, or like my bro or something. You just have to say it every time. It kills me. Oh man.
He-Man bro guy.
Really looking forward to this game. Not looking forward to the map. This map is eternal.
Yeah, I mean, you come to hang out with us here at HeroesHype. You gotta understand that Battlefield of Eternity will be played, and you're gonna learn all about Battlefield of Eternity.
What's going on? My camera froze on stream, and it definitely looks like I'm picking my nose. Rip me.
Finger is almost in the nose. Man. Oh yeah, I see. You're just about to go for it. It may.
Let's see. Did my camera freeze?
No, I think it looks like
it's working right now.
Frozen.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can't drop the quality on my Skype.